It's me, Renee. I'm back. Sorry. So, this is my wrap up for the contemporary readathon, round 6. So, you've seen some of my progression during the week because I posted a midway, what's the word again? Midway video? Midway. I posted a video on Wednesday telling you about how it gone so far. I'm looking for a word. Midway update is the word. Not a video without me forgetting a word, is there? Don't think so. Anyway, but now I'm just gonna do an update, so I'm just gonna tell you all of the books. I suppose just up front, I'm just gonna tell you I did cheat a bit, because as I said earlier in other videos, I've recently got a audiobook app, and during this week, some days I have like bad days or bad moments where I just like felt so down, and I ended up listening to a fantasy book for like half an hour or like 10 minutes. So sorry, but yeah, I know you, Chelsea and Julie, and my reading is all Natasha. I don't think you'll be that mad about it. Or I don't think you'll be mad at all, really. But yeah. So that's that, and also as I said on her midway wrap up, I decided to pick up Plum Loving by Olmsted Stefan Plum by Jan Ivanovic. And when I thought about picking it up, I forgot the fact that it's slightly fantasy elements. It has like some fantasy elements in it, but it's not like very much fantasy. So yeah, that one's a bit cheating as well. So yeah, now you know that. Okay, so let's get back to regular scheduled wrap up. So I'm just gonna assume or just gonna think that you didn't see the update because not everyone did. Some people just see the TBR wrap up because that's what they feel like. So I'm just gonna go over the whole week. I started the week by listening to the audiobook of Moments. If yes, you can see it at all. You can see it at all. Can you see it now? It's weird. Why you can't? Okay. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I started by listening to the audiobook of Yes, No, Maybe So. It's by Becky Albertalli and also Aisa Shaid. What's the other? It just says here. It's weird. Well, there's two authors. You know what? Oh, it's a technical difficulty, isn't it? Let me check it out. There. Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli. So I'm about to say Becky Albertalli. Becky Albertalli and Aisa Shaid. And since it's told in dual point of views, there was actually two narrators. There was Michael Crouch and Tia Sirkar. And yeah, that was a very good opening to the week, really. I really enjoyed that book. Sorry. It was quite fun how, I suppose most of you know that it's about political activism and political awareness in small towns. It's about standing up for what you believe in. Yeah, I would say yeah, standing up for what you believe in. And what, sorry, one of the main characters, forgetting names, but yeah, one of the main characters has a dream of being a politician, and is very into the politics, like of history and stuff. And so he actually says, well, not just he, but like there's often mention about timeline. They often use the word timeline, which is quite fun in my mind because timeline to me is like a Doctor Who science fiction world, with like, we screwed up the timeline. Well, in this book, like, they talk about how if they change the world, they'll have the good have a good timeline again, because they reference to Donald, the big orange guy in the White House, but they never say his name, so that's quite fun. I like that, how they don't say his name. But yeah, and they mention how they want change to happen sooner, not later, and how change is so slow. How 50 years ago stuff was bad, and now stuff is still bad. Stuff is not perfect. We would kind of hope that change will be quicker, which unfortunately it's not. But yeah, and also, yeah, it was a very fun book. It was a funny book. I really liked the plotline and the characters. I would say though that for most of the part, it's like mostly focused on the politics and their own personal life and their friendship. You know that one of the characters likes the other in a like romantic way, but there's not like very much focus on it. And then, spoiler, it's not a huge spoiler, but spoiler, in the end they get together. But I felt like that felt kind of rushed, because, and then there was some like something about, oh, can we be together or not, because I'm Muslim, I can't date. And then the book ends with them kissing and being together, but we don't really know what their plan is. Will they date in secret? Will they convince her parents? What will they do? We don't really know. Honestly, to me, that just felt too open for me. And also, like, 2 chapters before, she said, no, we can't date. I can't date. No way. And then 2 chapters after, kissy, kissy, kissy. It felt a bit rushed for me. It did. It did. Okay, so yeah, that's more or less my take on that book. All in all, I would say I really enjoyed it. I did see a Goodread friend who DNF'd it, which I thought was weird, but I suppose in a way could understand it, because she said nothing really happened. And yeah, it's not really a book where tons of stuff happen. So if you don't like the characters, you might be a bit bored. There's not very many conflict or very many stuff that happens. There's not many huge big reveals. It's more like day-to-day life and like their life during that time, that summer. So yeah, and yeah, so that's that one. I also started reading the book of, sorry, I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. I used to have it as a library book, as you can see in my contemporary fun TBR video. I'll link it in Doodle. I ended up uh, returning it to the library on Wednesday, and I started on Tuesday, and I actually DNF'd it. I got like 100 pages in. I actually said this before, but yeah, just to recap. I got like 150 pages in, 100 pages in, something like that, and I enjoyed the start of it, but after a while I was like, I don't care, I don't care. There are characters and stuff is happening, but to me it just kind of felt like letters put together, just words. Like, well, yeah, all books are just letters put in a sequence which make words and sentences. But like the best books, they make you forget that they're just letters in a specific order. They make you feel like it's a real story, like it's live. They make you feel like these people are real. And this, I'm gonna think of love. Honestly, I didn't believe in it. I thought it was just meh. And it wasn't like hugely meh. I suppose I could have read it, but I wasn't really motivated to finish it. So yeah, I picked it down. Yeah. But I do want to try other Maureen Gu books, just to see if it's just that one book I didn't like. Because sometimes authors don't write not all of their books are as amazing as one book. The book's varied. So, could be that. Or it could be Maureen Gu is not for me. I don't know. But that's that. And then, sorry, after that I started A Duke by default. I was about to find my cell phone, but you can't really see it, so not really point. I'll just link it in Lulu. A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole. It's an adult romance, so it fit with like the theme of February because romance, Valentine. It's also fit because it's written by a POC, person of color. It's Black History Month, and you did get. I was about to say something. You did get. No, you didn't get that much Black history, but you got like Osan's perspective. Like the love interest was half Chilean, so you had like the words. You have like the debate, or like not the debate. You have like the issue of immigration was talked about in the book, which I liked. It was fun way of doing it. I would have to say though, spoiler time slightly. So the book is called A Duke by Default. So you kind of assume that the book like it starts with the love interest being a duke, or maybe he has some inkling that he's a duke. Spoiler alert: he doesn't find out he's a duke until like halfway into the book. So honestly, I would say that's a bit weird of a title, really, that spoils the first half of the book. The second half of the book, I would just think that's just weird. But overall, it was good. It had the return of Johan, Johan, as I say. I suppose I think Johan is more like the English way of saying it. At least here in Norway, you say Johan. So yeah, the made up prince of a made up country. It's called Lichtenberg. Yeah, I think it's like slightly. It's supposed to be in Central Europe, where like they have both French and German as official languages, because he swears and he talks both in German and French in the same sentence, which I found was quirky, but also a bit unbelievable, because even I don't really think that many people bilingual use the two languages in the same sentence. Well, I do, but like I wouldn't really. Sometimes he starts by swearing in German, and so it's like a swearing saying where like say hell and fuck in both French and German in the same like sentence to like emphasize. And I wouldn't really do that. Like I would either swear in Norwegian, Spanish, or English. I wouldn't swear in. I wouldn't like say fan in pedo. Fuck. I wouldn't really say that. But I suppose maybe some people do that, and it's just not me. I don't know. I suppose that could be it. But yeah, overall, I like Yuan, which, yeah, I know he's a minor character, but I just want to mention him. I like the other characters, Portia. I would say in some aspects, I would say I relates more to her than Letty from the first book, because Letty, she was one of those characters that's always got always did tons of stuff, and always was perfect, and always doing stuff for others. Well, not that I'm selfish. Like, I do stuff for others, of course, but like Portia, she was more the person that she starts doing stuff, and then she just stops. She finishes, and then she quits and does something else. And I would say, in a way, would say that's a bit more relatable, because it's so easy to be distracted and like, oh, that looks fun. Oh, shiny thing, shiny thing, shiny thing. Like, to move on from one thing to another. And I like the aspect of Portia where she discovered more about herself, and yeah, I just love the whole book, really. I would say I really, really enjoy this series. I would say in this, as well as the first one, that like a non-romance plot is kind of like shoot in there. Like, it's there slightly on the surface, and then like in the beginning, a bit in the middle, and then at the end it's like, I'm here, I'm back, and just I don't know, it feels a bit weird. I suppose I'm thinking that probably because Alyssa Cole is meaning this series to be meant like mainly as a romance. While I know she has other books that are mystery and romance, So suppose if you think of, okay, this book is going to be mystery romance, then you will focus on both stuff. But if you want to write a male romance with some other elements, you won't really focus that much on the other elements. So I suppose I can give her slack. I can give an out. I can understand why she did it. I'm thinking about a word that I can't remember. 2 times in one video. Yay me! Yeah. So yeah, I took by default. It was quite an enjoyable book. Really good to listen to an audiobook. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, as you notice, I've been both listening to audiobooks and reading paperbacks. And I think part of the reason, well, I was about to say like part of the reason I didn't read as much. I did end up finishing 7 books, so it was quite a few books. But like I planned, I wanted to read I might have read a few more. And part of the reason I didn't was because the audiobooks of the books I read on audio was so good that I just ended up listening to them like all day instead of like just half day as I planned to. And then I got less time to read books because you can't really read a book paperback and say I'm listening to audio. That would be difficult. So yeah. And then so yeah, I took by default. I finished that on Tuesday. Oh yeah, Tuesday. No, Thursday. Yeah. And then after that, I kind of like, and so I read a bit less than I anticipated because of the audiobooks awesomeness. But also, like, slightly, some parts of the week, I was feeling like, you know what, I don't want to read. And then I just end up doing other stuff. I didn't like read all the time. So yeah, so on first I didn't really read that much. I finished a Duke by Default, and I didn't pick up anything else. Well, I started this one, but I didn't really read that much of it. Yeah, I started Jemima Small versus the Universe by Tamsin Winter. This is actually not a romance. It has no love interest in it at all. It is a contemporary, so yeah, didn't completely cheat. Well, not like you had to read romance for this readathon, but like in my head, I kind of wanted to. But yeah, it's British, and it's a British book. It's actually a middle grade book. Its character is in grades. She's 12. She turns 13 in this book, so she's in that tween era really. And a big focus in this book is bullying, but it's also about self-worth and loving who you are. And the main character Jemima, she's very smart. She knows a lot. Like she's smart both like she reads a lot, but she also loves maths and science. She like knows a lot. And not spoiler, she ends up in a quiz game, and she does great. So yeah, it's really about like being proud of yourself and being proud of being smart, like not being words, not being afraid to be smart, to not like dumb yourself down really. And it's got a very great has a very good message, and yeah, it's very fun. It's very funny. It has a great message and written very good. So yeah, highly recommend this one. And then sorry, I completely forgot. Well, I talked about it in the earlier video, but yeah, I also read Queer as a $5 Bill by Lee Wind. So it's sorry, it's self-published. You see, it says just says Lee Wind on the book. It's Kickstarter book. So it's a contemporary read about a high schooler who discovers that Abraham Lincoln was gay or bisexual. We don't really know, but like he interpreted some documents to mean that he at least loved a man, so that he met during his time. and he wants to tell everyone about this, because if Abraham Lincoln was gay, then gay people will be treated better, won't they? But of course it backfires. But yeah, it was a good book. It's not a huge book. I would say like the beginning was better than the end. Because all in all, like, it was good, but I think a lot of it I didn't really believe. Like, why would this happen? What? But it was a good book. It was, in the beginning it was more funny, like lots of fun jokes. In the end, there wasn't that many fun jokes, but it was still good. Still had some levity in it, and yeah, it's still a nice read. I would still slightly recommend it. It's not an absolute best book in the world, but it's not an awful book. So yeah, check it out if you want to. I'll link the Goodreads in the doobly-doo. And then on what is it? On Hope Saturday Sunday. No, on Saturday I read these two. Actually, I ended up listening to Stay Sweet on audiobook for most of Sunday. No, Sunday, sorry, words. For most of Saturday. Well, okay. So beginning of Saturday, I went to work, and when I got home and on the way to and from work, I listened to this on audiobook. And then I got home and I felt like doing jigsaw puzzle, so I did that and I listened to this one. And this book, Stay Sweet, it was good. It wasn't awful. It gave me very much of summery feels, which is kind of ironic because outside it's raining and grey and on the clouds, so it's not summery at all here. I don't live in Florida or anywhere summery, as you know. But yeah. But I would say like this book, I would honestly, I think it would benefit from um turning it into either editing in this book or turning it into a duology or a trilogy, because I felt like a lot of the time they talked about stuff that happened off page. I'm not sure if that is a phrase in books, but like at least in movies you say off screen, where like some stuff they talk about something that happened in a scene that wasn't shown in the movie, but like, they talk about like, oh yeah, and blah 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 blah, and then, oh yeah, blah 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 blah. So the characters know something happened, but we haven't seen it. So here, like, they talk sometimes about like, last year that happened, and it's tradition to that happened, and like, I felt like it would have been much more emotional if you had like either fleshed out and made this one a bigger book, had flashbacks or something maybe, or you could have turned it into trilogy or duology where you had like one book for each summer. I think that would be very good, because I think that in that way the end, or like the plot of this, will be very much more emotional, because the plot of this is like, okay, the owner of the ice cream store is dead. What are we gonna do? Oh, okay. So the ice cream store owner had a family we didn't know about. Okay, so it can be saved. Oh no, stuff is happening. I think that would be much more resonant and emotional if you had much more of an relationship to this story, to this place, really. So I think if it had been like, I don't know, maybe anthology or maybe just duology. If it would just be in duology, I think it would be much better, at least in my mind. Or I suppose you could have maybe just given it to another author, maybe, because sometimes some author makes a book based on a concept or like based on an idea, and it's and then another author makes the slightly same book, and it's like, oh my god. So I don't know. But yeah, in the end, Stay Sweet, didn't hate it, didn't really love it. So I was a bit disappointed. And then on sorry, on Saturday nights, I started the wedding dates. I actually started this at like 8, maybe like, yeah, around 8 on Saturday, and it was so good. It's not a huge book, but yeah, it was so good that I stayed awake till like 1 in the morning to finish it. This was so good. I really enjoyed it. Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. Everyone's talked about it before. It's pretty well-known book. Most of the people have read about it. I did see that Goodreads had words, but read on it over this weekend, and I just clicked in to see what they thought. They didn't like it at all. I was like, what? But I suppose, not everyone can like all the books. That's impossible. But me, yeah, I very much enjoy this book. So yeah, after this, I'm definitely going to buy all the Jasmine Guillory books and just gonna words. I'm just gonna praise her. I'm just gonna worship her. I'm gonna worship Jasmine Guillory because it's so good. You're so amazing. You're so amazing. If you see this, Jasmine Guillory, you're so good. Awesome writer. So good. So yeah, and also this, I would say this cover is very nice. It's not the usual yellow cover that you usually see. I really like this cover. I think this cover is really nice. And yeah, so that's actually the last book I finished in this readathon. I did. Oh, sorry, completely forgot. I read this one on Friday as well, Friday evening. Other than that, on Friday I didn't. No, yeah, I listened to an audiobook on Friday. I don't remember what I read on Friday. I read. Oh, Friday. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, I read this on Friday. This is the Stephen Plum book, which is slightly fantasy, but it's also, this one is not very much fantasy at all. Like, it's mainly about matchmaking, so it's very fitting for Valentine's. Very much enjoyed reading it on Valentine's, and yeah, it was fun. A fun little quick book, really. So yeah, I would say check this one out if you want something short, sweet, and fun. And then, yeah. So I had planned, as you know, to start Undercover Princess on Sunday or during the weekend, during the readathon. And then after a while, I planned starting on Sunday. I didn't, because Sunday I wasn't really feeling it reading it at all, so I didn't really read that much on Sunday. I did try to listen to the audiobook of Please Don't Read the Comments, or Don't Read the Comments. Is it called Please Don't Read the Comments, or Don't Read the Comments? It's called Don't Read the Comments. Yeah, I started listening to that one on Saturday, Sunday, sometime. I didn't like it that much. Yeah, I actually started reading it on Friday. I didn't really like it that much, so I DNF'd one. Didn't really like it. I hadn't heard that much about it, but I thought, you sound kind of fun, I want to try you. But then I started completely on a whim, and it's about gamers, and I really like gaming that much, so, and also I didn't really like the narrator, and when one of the narrators, there's two narrators, but one of them I don't like, I'm not gonna force myself to read it. I might pick it up in the future in paperback, who knows, but I DNF'd it. I DNF'd the audiobook. Sorry. I did also start. I started Get a Life, Chloe Brown on Sunday on audio. It's read by Ajawa Ando. Honestly, that narrator, like, I felt like she kind of had a posh voice, like posh British voice, which I do watch British TV and stuff now and then, so I've heard what it is. I suppose everyone knows posh British, like that's the Queen's British and that's James Bond, etc., etc. But like for this book, I was kind of feeling like I wasn't like feeling it, so I might pick it up later. Well, I think I might just change and pick it up in book form because I really want to read that book. But the narrator was like, I'm not really feeling it. And yeah, I also, in a tale of what I've read but didn't finish, I started This Train Is Being Held, let you say as well, by Ismail Williams, and it's read by Gary Tideman, isn't it? No, that's just it's read on two people. Yeah, anyway, It has 2 narrators. I know it has. Pretty sure it has. But anyway, this one I liked the beginning of it, but then it got violent, and then after a while I lost concentration, and I wasn't really that motivated to finish it. So yeah, that's another DNF. The contemporary fun for all DNFs. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, that's about that. And yeah, I was about to say, I planned to start this one Sunday. I wasn't really in that much of a reading mood. I started it slightly, like I read like 2 pages yesterday, so I slightly started. But yeah, so far it's good. I'm just very short into it, so can't really talk that much about this one. Really, I wouldn't really say. So yeah, that's my contemporary readathon wrap up. I finished these 4 plus 2 audiobooks. So I'd say that's pretty good, really. I can't complain about that. And yeah, I've been talking rambling now for half an hour. But honestly, I mean, yeah, okay. At this point, you can go if you want, but I just kind of want to do a little digression because it's contemporary readathon. So I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna talk a bit about some stuff from contemporary that bugs me, or that I just like, like for example, and I'm not sure. Like, please comment in down below if it's just me in the comments if this is just me, or if it's something like all people understand as well, or if it's just me. Like, for example, in a lot of audiobooks, I'm getting tired. I'm not gonna stop right now, but yeah, soon finished. In a lot of contemporary, I noticed that when people talk about grades, which I love why contemporary set around school, so they talk about grades, kind of natural. When they talk about grades, they say like, oh yeah, she's like the best person in class. She gets only A's, and then the one that's like slacker gets like A minus. Like, how is that slacking? And then like they talk about like, oh my god, I got a C. I'm so bad. And I'm like, what? What? How is a C bad? Like, yes, C is not perfect. Like A and B would be perfect in my mind at least. But a C is among the 3 best. How can you complain that much about C? Or like sometimes people like complain like, oh my god, I got a D, it's the end of the world. No, it's not. Yes, okay. Often they have a goal to go to college in this YA contemporary books, but still, like, if you get 1 D, I'm pretty sure you won't not get into college. And I'm pretty sure if you get slightly less grades, I'm pretty sure I heard someplace that you can start in one college and then transfer. And I'm also pretty sure like you can take some school and stuff. Like, it's not the end of the world to get 1 bad grade or to like get not perfect grades. It's not. At least not in my mind. And also, yeah, how they're like, A, it's the perfect, and B is like, oh my god, I got a B. Like, seems like everything else that's not an A, is awful. It's like, how? You do know that B is second best. It's second best, but it's close to best. Like, you can't be mad if you get a B, can you? Honestly, seems like all people in contemporaries are very much perfectionist and like very mad if they get a B. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. To me, a B I would be very perfect, very happy with a B, very happy. I suppose that's because most of the time I never really got that many Bs, but like still, it's a second best grade. Why would you complain for a B? For a B? I don't get it. I don't get it. And also, slightly the same thing really, sometimes they like say like, oh yeah, I'm so bad at this subject, I'm so bad, oh my god, I can't do this subject, and then they get the grade and like, oh, B minus. What? What? Do you have no self knowledge? Like, you have no self consciousness? You don't understand? Like, are you just exaggerating so much? Or like, you feel like a B is so bad, but I, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Or like when they like say, "Oh my god, I'm failing," and then a few weeks later they get an A. Like they go from like an E or an F to an A. Like, what? How? How is it possible? How is it possible? I'm thinking you're getting some kind of smart test someplace, because that's just not happening. Myself, I had trouble in maths, in mathematics in school, and I never got like a good grade in maths because maths is hard. Uh, I did I did fail one grade, but like the one grade didn't matter that much. So the next grades in maths, I um what's the word? Did not fail, or I passed. But still, I never got an B or an A. Like, I didn't go from the worst to the best in one semester or 1 year. Like, don't think that's possible, really. Honestly, that's why some reason I really love Princess Diaries, because Mia is awful in maths, and she always barely passes. She always barely passes. She never goes for like, oh my god, I can't do this, and then a few weeks later, oh my god, exam, I aced it. No, she's always realistic. Like, it's always portrayed realistic, at least in my mind. It feels so real and realistic, really. So yeah, that's my little grade rant, really. So, is it true that in the States, if you get a B, you're dumb, you're stupid, or lazy? Is that really true? Or is it just how it's portrayed in the books? Please tell me in the doobly-doo. In the comments, not in the doobly-doo. I do have some friends from the States, internet friends, and they've said that they didn't really get that much good grades either, but like when they got B, they were very, very happy with it. So I suppose maybe it's just a B is only good if you mostly get C and D. But like, I would still be happy with a B even I got if a person got mostly A's and only 1 or 2 B's. Why would you complain? It's just 2 grades that you don't have an A, and it's still next best. It's not like you get lots of A's and then 1 E. Like, you get an B. You can't be. I don't understand it. I don't really understand it. But yeah, and also a little other thing that annoys me. So yeah, I understand because US is a big country. It's a lot of rural countries, a lot of like places to live and stuff. It's a lot of areas to be in stuff. And sorry, most of the time I do read fantasy books, so most of the time this doesn't really factor in. And I haven't really noticed much before either, but lately, the last few times that I've picked up a contemporary setting in the States, they often talk about like how important cars are. Like, cars, so important, so important. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I understand that car is something that helps you move from one place to another. But like, buses, trains, can't you walk? Apparently they can't. Apparently it's so impossible to walk places. I don't really get that. I think that's probably slightly because, like, here in Norway, you can't drive before you're 18, and 18 is like the year while you graduate high school. So you never get like a time where you drive around your car in high school in Norway. While in States, you can get your license at 16, so you can be 18 and drive around. But like, that's also like slightly in the same thing. Like, sometimes they say like, "Oh my God, my family is from the bad side of town. My dad is drunk. My dad has no money, and yet she has a car all the time." Like, how I mean, cars are expensive. You need gas, you need insurance, you need like fixing up the cars and oil, and yet like in all the books, and I suppose it's kind of mainly I think in movies and TV, but like yeah, most of the books as well, they always have a car, even if like I'm so poor, and yet they can afford a car. What? So either you're not that poor, or how? What? Did you steal a car? I don't really get it. Like here, yeah, like here in Norway, like you never really would get a car for your 16th birthday or 17th birthday, even if you're 18 and you got your license. Very few people, when they're so young, have a car. Some people get a car from their parents and stuff, but it's not really that common. Most of the time, you buy your first car when you're 27, 28. So to me, like all this talk about cars in YA contemporaries, I think this is just so weird. For me, it's just like, why would you? And like, okay, sometimes I could get it, like if it's like a story set in like rural in the country, rural in the country in the States, where like there's no buses, there's just farms, and you have like one person lives here, one person lives there, and if the person here wants to go to a person there, you have to like walk 2 hours, and there's no buses. Then I can get a car. But like when you talk about like in Yes, No, Maybe So, and in Heretics Anonymous, both the books talk about like malls. They talk about different different shops and all these coffee stores. And like, okay, so this city apparently has a lot of stuff. Why wouldn't it then have buses as well? I suppose buses are just not a thing in the States. But like I would understand it if even like a city has bad um, bad public transport. Like that happens in Norway as well. Like even if it's a city, it doesn't mean that it has perfect public transport. But offers, could you just please just mention, at least for like a poor Norwegian, just like mention this city has no bus alternative, or no bus routes and no trains, no trams. Like just mention it in a few sentences, and I'll be on board with all the cars, no problem. But if you don't mention it at all, it's like, what? 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 Is this some kind of weird timeline? Weird, like, parallel universe where they don't have buses? What? 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 I don't understand it. But, yeah. So, approach is getting a bit weird now. I'm still a bit, like, yeah. I never really, like, slightly, I've lost like my cold for like a few weeks, and then no, my cold, my throat, my bad throat is back. Yeah. Anyway, that's that really. So that was two really small rants that I hoped weren't too weird, or maybe you like weird rants. Weird rants are kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah, just a little sorry, heads up. This weekend I'm going away, so I'll be posting pre-filmed videos. Yay for pre-filmed videos! For Sunday, well, this weekend for Friday. For Wednesday, I'm not sure if I'll post film something new or do a pre-filmed. I do have like 2 or 3 pre-filmed videos like I can use if I want to. So I'm not sure, but yeah. So this was a wrap up for Contemporary Readathon Round 6. Thank you, Chels, Julia, and Natasha for orchestrating it. I'll tag you, or I'll link your channels in doobly-doo. And it was very fun doing this again. Can't wait for September. And yeah, bye bye.